Live from the Texas Cheerlickers Studios, it's In the Building with Mike Taylor and Rudy J.
Oh, hello.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, man. Do you have me broadcasting?
Yeah.
Excellent.
I can hear you. I can see
Excellent.
you.
I have you loud and clear. Welcome
Okay,
in
cool.
here. It is another one of these work weeks. It's another one of these in the buildings here on Love You Hard TV. It's episode 281 from the Texas Cheer Studios, which today is on a road trip. Usually from the Pub Sports Radio Studios in Southtown. Today we are on locale. Rudy is on family vacation, still working though. He's a man of the people.
Got to, man. Got to. And not only that, everybody sleep.
Mhm.
We got this little connected room, which nobody's in. So, like, little connected mother-in-law suite. So, nobody's in here. So, I ain't bothering anybody. Snuck out the back door. There's no reason not to do shows right now while everybody's still asleep. Now, we were doing like a 1 o'clock show in the afternoon. I'd be like, hey, Mike, coming for me. But
Yeah.
we do 9 a.m. Why not get in here and give the people what they pay for?
Very good. Well, I don't want to keep you too long. We'll just do
No.
regular shows and get you out of here because it is a family vacation and it is spring break. And speaking of sleeping, dude, I am
What's up?
thrown off. I thrown off by the stupid time change.
I know. Thank God for my phone. Thank God Apple just updates it for us old men, because I totally forgot until I went downstairs yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, why are the microwave and stove an hour behind? And I was like, shit,
Mm-hmm.
time jumped ahead. But we got our daylight back.
We did, which is nice. And I
love
wish they
that.
would keep it this way. But
Me
I
too.
think so. Trump's been talking about like kiboshing daylight savings, which he talks about a lot of things. But in the event they were to do that, I don't think it would be like if they were to wipe out daylight savings, it would not be this current time. I think
Jesus.
it would not be this current time.
No, what time would it be?
It would be the wintertime time permanently, where it gets dark early and it
Oh,
rises early. That's the one they would go to. So I don't want that. I would much
No.
rather. I would much rather this, even though it throws me off for a couple of days. Like we didn't have lunch yesterday till like 2:30. I just wasn't hungry.
You forgot, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
and
also
then
think you were like, probably you ate enough. You don't eat a lot. So when you pound a bunch of crawfish, you're not, the next day, Mike isn't going to eat a bunch. Just so you know, if Mike goes crazy one day, the next day he probably have one meal.
act like I'm a bird.
You're not a bird. You're just a grown man that understands. I'm 50. I know we say that a lot, and we can't just be pounding shit.
No. Well, and I forgot that I was 50 over the weekend and consumed too much. So
Same.
packed on
same.
3 pounds. Packed on 3 pounds. I have noticed that as I get older, my weight goes up easier. That's what you have to.
Oh God, I can work my ass off for a month and a half to lose maybe 6-7 pounds, and one weekend I can ruin it. One bad weekend, like once you get to our age, there is no it's the weekend. You get a cheap meal. You don't get a cheat day. A cheat day will freak you up.
Yep, big time.
So,
well, there's our old man problems.
Yeah.
Happy daylight savings time. Welcome to Spring Forward. Rudy's in Port A with his family on vacation, so I will be emanating here from K-Mike Studios here for a few days. It is episode 281. So please subscribe to our channel if you're watching it on YouTube at Love You Hard TV. You can listen to us every day on Spotify and Apple and all the other ones as part of the Believe Podcast Network. You can support us by commenting into the chat and support us even further with a tip through the super chat, or you can go to the Buy Me a Coffee link. Also, as I'm cleaning house here before we get into what we're going to get into, please download the Anthem TV app. It will be they will be televising in the building daily on the Anthem TV app beginning St. Patrick's Day, Monday, March the 17th. And so you can listen to us on Believe, or you can watch us on Anthem TV or our Love You Hard channel on YouTube. So we're all over the America. And I'm even trying to, I think when you get back to town, we're going to start streaming this show live on Facebook every day too. I just wanted you to
Yes.
get back in studio first.
Yes, I think that's a must. We got a bunch of people that enjoy Facebook, so
Sure.
why not appease them?
Well, it is San Antonio, you know.
I ain't saying that.
And I mean, I'm only on the Facebooks. Okay, I guess we'll just start doing the show on Facebook then to
Right.
appease. Last week when we did the radio show, we were on Facebook, and we broke. It was like their biggest debut ever on their Facebook channel. So
For sure.
folks are still on the Facebook. All right, I'm heavy-hearted today as we get ready to start as we do our show, and it's because one of my favorite R&B singers died over the weekend. Well, he was a part of one of my favorite bands, I should say. The great Dwayne Wiggins, Tony, died of bladder cancer over the weekend at the age of 64. Jose won't remember anything from Tony, but I know Rudy will.
Of course, it was one of my favorite groups as well. I was shocked to find out that they weren't all named Tony. So, but whatever, you know what I mean? But yeah. Man, it's just freaking cancer sucks, man.
Yeah, man. So it was Dwayne and Raphael Sadiq, and I can't think of the other one.
I forget the other one too.
Top of my head, but they had smash hits for us high schoolers in the early '90s, like "It Never Rains in Southern California." It feels good.
I bet Jose knows it's our anniversary. He knows that song.
Do you know what today?
I've never heard of that song in my life.
Yes, you
It's
have.
our anniversary.
If we could play music on these YouTubes without losing money, you've heard that song. I promise you, bro. I promise you've heard it.
Jose, have you ever seen Boys in the Hood?
I've been told to watch it. I got halfway through it. And I know at the end someone yells, "Ricky!" But I don't know why. I don't know why.
So wait, if you got halfway through it, that you're talking about the last 15, 20 minutes of the movie with Ricky, the Ricky shout out.
I just know that something happens to Ricky. I don't know what happens to Ricky. I don't even know who's yelling that, but something happens to Ricky, and it doesn't seem very good.
Well, he gets shot. He gets shot and killed.
You know what?
Spoiler alert.
God damn it, Mike! I wanted to watch that movie. Fuck.
Oh, stop.
You know what, Jose? Get out.
And he did. Oh, the reason I asked him was because he said he never heard of Tony. There's a song on the soundtrack. It's just me and you. Ooh,
great song.
Baby.
See, that's when they did soundtracks still. I miss soundtracks.
Me too, man.
Soundtracks were awesome. It was like legit theme music to the movie. There's some classic ones. That one was definitely one of them. But yeah, I forgot about Just Me and You.
Yeah. I love soundtracks. I've always have. I even have soundtracks in my playlist on my Spotify musical list. Some of them are soundtrack music. So shout out to the great Dwayne Wiggins of Tony. And no, none of them were named Tony. All right, Holmes. What today? There's plenty to get into. I'll start with this. Our show is presented to you in part by Ribaldo Realty Group, the official real estate agent of In the Building is Jay Ribaldo. My man, Jay Ribaldo. If you are in need of a quality real estate man, our guy is Jay Ribaldo. Whether you're looking to sell and list something on the market to sell, or you're looking to buy, or both, or maybe you're looking for property, maybe you're looking for commercial property as an investment, our guy Jay is the man. Jay Ribaldo. Call him 210-887-1081. You can email him directly, jribaldo@kw.com, or you can even go to his website. That's the easiest thing to do to see all of his listings and get a hold of Jay, and make sure you mention us. It's ribaldo.com. Ribaldo.com. All right. Had a good weekend. Had a fun weekend. Didn't get drunk, but certainly got stoned.
Well, is it stoned?
Well, let's discuss this for a minute.
I don't know if it's stoned. Well, I don't know what the word is.
It's out of my, not the same, that's for sure. I think I was stoned, pretty sure. And here's the thing. You're not supposed to drink 3 in a day. That's my problem. But I was doing a bit.
Doing a good job.
So what happened was I was compelled to take the THC infused drink challenge of 2K25, right? Which, first of all, I can go to Texas Cheer Liquor, buy several different brands and flavors of THC, Delta this, Delta that, infuse this, infuse that. And that's perfectly fine, but I can't go buy a joint on the street.
No.
Tell me how that makes sense.
That doesn't. It doesn't make any sense at all, Mike.
And I know
that's Texas for you, bro.
And I know that there's like people that know the weed business they can tell me the difference and why there's a loophole and I can drink THC, but I can't smoke it or blah, blah, blah.
Right.
That's fine. All I know is I drink too much. And so we have for you today, it's presented by Texas Cheer Liquor, the official liquor store of In the Building and our studio sponsor. You have this ready to roll, Jose? Here is the 2000, and this is like 3 minutes, all right? But it needed to be long because you're going to see me right before I start drinking this stuff, 30 minutes after I start drinking this stuff, and then like an hour after I start drinking this stuff. So without further ado, you're on In the Building. It is our 2K25 THC Infusion Drink Challenge of 2K25. All right, we're seeing more and more of an influx of these THC infused drinks. How this is not just legal in the state is beyond me, but whatever, we found a loophole with our drinkies. So these are all three available at all 7 Texas Cheer Liquors. This is Elevado Strawberry Daiquiri, Delta 9 THC infused, 0 alcohol, 0 sugar. Interesting. It tastes like a melted snow cone. That's really good. That's gonna be hard to beat. All right. Well, then we'll go to the middle here. This is Fort Worth Song, Texas made, Powerhouse, strawberry flavored seltzer. It's going to have to be good to beat this Elevado. Interesting. Okay. That does not have a really strong flavor. Like the daiquiri has a really distinctive daiquiri flavor, like melted snow cone. It doesn't have a lot of flavor. It's just simply seltzer water, which is fine. All right, one more. We'll try this one. Hop the Wave, Maine-made iced tea, 5 milligrams THC and 5 milligrams of CBD.
That was
you never
my
know
favorite.
when it's going to kick in either. Here we
That's
go.
my favorite one.
Hop the Wave, iced tea. Let's see.
That shit is delicious.
Tastes just like Lipton tea.
Yep.
You ever had a Lipton, like a cold Lipton? If y'all remember back in the day, these were huge. My mother used to drink Lipton iced tea out of the can. It's not bad. Let's just down the damn thing. Why not?
See, this is where he went wrong right here.
Woo! All right. That's me now. We're going to check back in like 30 minutes and see how my mood has changed, if at all. All right, it's been like 45 minutes, and I'm feeling like tired. And I'm like, why am I feeling tired? Oh, because I took 3 big gulps. All right, so I'm going to take some more. This is round 2. This is my favorite one. This is the Elevado Strawberry Daiquiri. Very yummy. Okay, very refreshing. What if I gulp it too fast and I'm like, you don't want to be like that too fast.
He's already wasted.
Tastes like old school Lipton tea out of a can. And okay, I'm already feeling a little bit groovy. So I'll be back in 30 minutes and see how this goes. Love you hard. Bye.
What the freak is happening, sir? What? The dog is confused.
I'm back on my bullshit again. Dude, I gotta stop drinking these.
You're not supposed to drink 3.
Still my favorite. Hop the Wave iced tea. Down the hatch. Okay. Probably gonna fall asleep next. Don't forget, you can get all 7 Texas Cheer Liquors and mention In the Building and get 5% off at all the In the Buildings. Wait a minute, that's the Texas Cheer Liquors. Get 5% off at all Texas Cheer Liquor when you say In the Building. That's it. I got those mixed up. Worst I'm so sorry. I want to apologize to the entire Singh family for the worst Texas Cheer live spot of all time.
Why? What was wrong with it? They loved it.
Oh man, dude, don't drink 3.
You're definitely a little loopy.
Well, after 3, yeah, I was loopy. So I don't know if that was high or not. That was certainly not. I did not need to be operating heavy machinery or any machinery.
No.
I needed to be in the couch or on the bed. So there is our Texas Cheer THC Infusion Challenge of 2K25. If you too would like to try any of those 3 brands that I tried, there are 7 locations all over the area, 6 alone in San Antonio, the one up in Barney. And not just the THC drinks, everything they have in there is 5% off when you mention in the building at all Texas Cheer liquors. Man, very good. All right. It is in the building. Rudy is in Port Aransas, Texas. So we're doing our show at the Texas Cheer Liquor Studios or at home today, although Rudy's got a nice setup. So what do you have? Do you have like that little house you're in there is like next door to where you're staying? Like,
it's like, so my brother-in-law rented this home and his mom was supposed to come, but I don't know if she's going to, but this is where she was going to stay. It was like a little mother-in-law suite. Mm-hmm. And she didn't make it down, so he was like, "Man, just go in there and do the pod." So came in here doing the pod or the stream or the believe or the anthem or the love you hard all of that shit. So I'm just in here. Maybe she comes today, but there's plenty of spots for me to knock one out. I wanted to do it outside, but there's too much wind and it'll sound awful. So
how close are you to the ocean?
Pretty close, less than a mile.
Are you the only black man in the neighborhood?
Big old long black one.
Yes. I saw some at the beach yesterday, but in this neighborhood, no. But none of them were in the water. Nobody was in the water. Actually, it's pretty. It's not cold, but it's cold, man. We picked the wrong weekend. It's like
March.
It's like high 60s, so it feels good. But it's not like let's get in the water feels good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right, for sure. Well, dude, I appreciate you. You don't have, for the record, you don't have to always host just when you're when you're traveling and stuff. You know.
I know.
Okay, we love you hard. We'll
love you harder.
Take care of you. All right. Watch our show on Anthem TV, as Rudy alluded to, beginning March 17. And listen to it if you want to listen to us on Spotify or Apple and all those things. You can find us on the Believe podcast network. We're big time. Hopefully I'm big time. Whether we're in the kitchen or I'm in my house, we're still on all those networks. Kicking ass. That's right. All right. I was also saddened over the weekend, and I'm not surprised.
What happened?
I didn't expect it to be anything good, but what a gruesome scene that wound up being after the death of the great noted actor Gene Hackman, his wife, and their dog. After they find Gene dead in one room, they find his wife dead in another room with pills everywhere, and then they find the dog dead. It's been very mysterious, and we now know why the dog's dead. But they also they say they're pretty sure of what happened because they tested the bodies. So Betsy Arakawa, Gene's wife, tested positive for something called hantavirus, which I'd never heard of before. It's
what
rare.
is it?
Well, you get it from rat turds and piss.
What? Wait.
She died of rat poisoning. Not poison you give a rat, but like she got sick from being exposed to rat poop and rat pee in their house.
Were they living? Was it a bad situation?
Well, he was 95 and he had Alzheimer's. She was like 61 though. She must not have been in very good health either then. You know, it's just two old people in a house together. And things like this could happen when you get old folks living where they can't get around as much or take care of themselves as easily. And here she is. I mean, she's having to take care of Gene too. And so it makes you wonder about like the cleanliness in that house, man. So
it sounds like Gene died a horrible death because it sounds like she passed away first
About a week.
And then she's not able to care for him, and then Jean gets died. Well, how did the dog die?
It was in a crate and it couldn't get out and it starved to death. Yeah. Yeah.
This whole story is awful.
Just awful. And I'm going to go right back to Jose Bouquet's first question the day we mentioned this. Where the fuck were his family members? How do you not check on these old folks that you apparently love and they're your parents?
They had to be one of those relationships where it's just about us. Don't bother us. Because it doesn't make any sense to me. Because this happens a lot in families where there's no contact with this family because of an argument, or this family member owes money. You said this at Christmas break 3 years ago, blah, blah, blah. There's always some shit going on in families. So I could see a situation where they were just like, yo, we're just going to be just us two. But then this happens. But I'm stuck on the rat.
Dude, so I read on this. Let's see, I pulled some notes. Hantavirus is spread from rat feces or rat urine. It is rare. And if it goes, now basically when you get it, it's basically real bad pneumonia, but you have to go to the doctor. Like you have to go to the hospital when you get it. If it's untreated, it kills 1 in 3 people. So whatever, she must have been feeling bad and sick, but for whatever reason, she didn't go to the hospital. I'm just thinking, even though she was in her early 60s, she couldn't have been of right mind.
No.
You know, why not call 911, get some help for Gene, put him in a home, or take yourself to the hospital, get some people to come over, hire a nanny. I mean, you're fucking millionaires. Hire people to take care of y'all. Just, who knows, dude? We may never know the full story. Just a horrific result from this death.
That means if it's, because I used to watch that show. I don't know why. I used to watch that show, Hoarders. Mm-hmm. If it's got to that point where the ammonia from the rat piss is making you ill, then that means you have an infestation.
Right.
And so you're not, at that point, you're living with the rats, not vice versa. That is awful. And poor Gene's 95. He probably can't get around. He don't know where he's at.
I know.
Good
Imagine
Lord.
that. So she died first, and then he died like a week later, which meant he was not being taken care of. So he suffered. And he's got Alzheimer's. Oh, dude, again, it doesn't matter what the scenarios are.
But still.
It don't matter if, like, the kids don't like the stepmom or they've got beef.
You're right.
How do you don't cut your dad off? He's 95 effing years old. You know, at that point, you be the grown-up. You force your way into the situation. At least do what you can. And who knows, maybe the kids will speak. But right now, honestly, the family looks bad.
They look awful.
It's one of my biggest fears. It's one of the reasons why I try to stay in decent shape. I'm only 50. It ain't like I'm got 1 foot in the grave. But like, if I'm going to wind up living to be 95, I hope that I can stay in relatively decent health. Hopefully mentally more than even physically. That way I'm not a burden on anyone, because it's tough taking care of old folks, you know? And it's like, why wouldn't they have gone to a place? I mean, they have all the money in the world. They had this beautiful home in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and they were a part of the community and stuff. But a lot of old people do that, though. They just choose to be reclusive and stay in their house. And in this case, both wind up dying a horrific death. And then to think of the dog in there, stuck in a crate, probably just scratching and barking and barking and barking.
Its own piss and shit as well.
Mighty, dude. What a scene. There's just nothing good to say about that. So I'm going to spin out of that. Talk football. When in doubt, talk football, right?
Yeah,
when in doubt, talk about frickin' football.
We gonna win that bitch.
Yes. It is free agency period.
Was that a drop?
I heard something in my ear.
Nice.
Sounded like Jalen Ramsey, I believe, from back in the day. About that.
Hey, everybody, it's Weenie in the Butt here.
Whoa. Miracles happen. Miracles happen. All right, let's get into. Want to do some? What a hell of a weekend in the NFL. The NFL kept. I saw the Gene news and that sucked, and but I had a good weekend. I was disheartened to hear that Gene Hackman story, but we had a good weekend at Slackers. We had a good weekend here in my house. We had a good time, and a boatload of NFL stuff to get into with free agent doings, as the NFL just refuses to let any other sport be the dog for one
You can't
week.
breathe. NBA starting on Saturdays and shit. Like, here comes the NFL with some legit news worth discussing.
Right. I love it. So we go from the Super Bowl. They take about 3 weeks off. Oh, then it's time for the Combine. But the very next week after that, it's NFL free agency. The new NFL season begins next week. So the fiscal year for the NFL begins, I believe, next week. And so all these teams are moving and shaking. And we now have another all-time highest paid guy in Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills quarterback. 6 years, $330 million, $250 million guaranteed for Josh Allen. Worth
all
it?
to not go to the Super Bowl.
Plays in the wrong conference.
He plays in the wrong conference. And I mean, did he earn it? I guess so. I mean, it's the quarterback position. He's the face of the franchise. You just in the Patrick Mahomes era, I guess. You know, I
Don't you think he's number 2, though, behind Mahomes at this point? Would you put him at number 2, or would you put Lamar Jackson? Or someone else?
Damn, Mike, you threw me a curveball. Is Josh Allen the second best quarterback in the NFL? I have him ahead of Lamar.
It's a hard one. And it depends on the week, honestly, because they're so close.
Yeah, I mean, because Josh Allen is mobile. Josh Allen scores rushing TDs. Josh Allen, I mean, I wouldn't have had him as the MVP this year. I would have had either Lamar or Saquon Barkley. But if I'm just talking about overall, I'm going. It ain't Jalen Hurts, even though Jalen Hurts has won his Super Bowl now.
No,
it's Josh. It's Josh. Josh Allen's the second best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, his problem is he's been a turnover machine. But he
changed that. He got
down this year.
He got much better this year.
I would slot him at 2 behind Mahomes. And honestly, I mean, Mahomes has this, and we all know about Mahomes. He has this Jedi ability, and no matter how bad or good his team is. And I mean, he took a mediocre Chiefs team to the freaking Super Bowl, got his ass kicked, but still. I mean, that Josh Allen ain't taking that Chiefs team to the Super Bowl, I don't think. No one is.
No.
Patrick Mahomes. He's the standard. But after that, I think Josh is number 2 at this point. But again, that fluctuates and changes depending on the week and in the month. All right. The Seahawks have gone into total rebuild mode. They trade the stud wide receiver DK Metcalf to the Steelers, which is interesting because they don't even have a quarterback in Pittsburgh, but they got DK Metcalf. They got 2 good wide receivers now. They just need somebody to throw the ball to them. And there's a report out that says that my Steelers, you know, I'm a Mike Tomlin fan.
I know.
The Steelers have now put Aaron Rodgers on their possibility list for next season.
And that came from Shefty.
I know.
So there's some meat on that bone there. And now, Mike, we both are out on A-Rod, but Mike is able to get something different from his men. Mike is able to be stern and be your homie, but also be stern and also tell you to shut the bleep up. I got this. Like, I think he'd be there for OTAs. I think he'd be there for training camp just because guys have a different respect for Mike Tomlin. I'm not trying to make Mike Tomlin Bill Belichick. I'm not trying to make Mike Tomlin Andy Reid. But the players have a different level of respect for him that I think Aaron Rodgers would probably adhere to, and it would make sense if they can keep the running game going and things like that. It kind of makes sense, even though I'm down on Aaron Rodgers, and I think he's definitely in the twilight. But we've seen Mike Tomlin go 9-8 with Hamburger McFinlan as his quarterback. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I can see it working. And Russell Wilson and DK played together before too. So if they do decide to go with Russ, I guess that's kind of makes sense as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they haven't re-signed Russ. I mean, what can Aaron Rodgers do at this point that Russ didn't do last year?
Great question. I think that's a great question.
And Rodgers is hurt. Now, Rodgers played in that dog-ass organization in New York and had no coaching, no development because their culture's crap. But Aaron Rodgers is old. He did blow out his Achilles just a year and a half ago. I don't know why they haven't brought Russ back. I mean, clearly neither one of those guys is their future at the position. At some point, they're going to have to tank to get into the top 5 of the draft so they can get the next good quarterback that's going to lead them forever, unless they sign somebody in free agency, which I don't know who that would be. I mean, shit. I think I might rather take my chances with Sam Darnold at this point than Aaron Rodgers, although Rodgers is just a year. Sam Darnold wants a if you sign Darnold, you're signing him to a 4 or 5 year deal, and then you're stuck with him. And we don't know what he's going to be. He had 3 great months in Minnesota, flamed out at the end of the season, cost himself a shit ton of money, is not to be trusted. So if you're Pittsburgh and you bring in Aaron Rodgers, you're basically it's a one season deal, and you'll worry about 2026 and 2026. But Pittsburgh feels like it's got enough talent that if Rodgers can catch old lightning in a bottle, then maybe they can go on a playoff run. They're just looking to Pittsburgh just looking to win a playoff game, which they've
It's been a long time. Like we love Tomlin, and I hate even saying this, but they're super average over the last 10 years. They're super average. I mean, they went 10-7 this year, second place in that tough AFC North because Cincinnati couldn't get out of its own way, but at some point, he's got to win some playoff games.
I'd stay with Russ. Now you've got DK. Let him play with Russ. They know each other. The Rams have signed the stud wide receiver. Speaking of the Jets shitty scene, what a horrible thing. What a wasted 2 years for the Jets and their fans. Wow. They're worse than Dallas. They are real. I mean, I'm rather be a Cowboy fan than the Jets.
And that's saying a lot. If you're saying that says the Jets are rat turds. To bring the show full circle.
They're rat turds. Don't be around the Jets because you may die of exposure. Do not be around the Jets.
No.
I'd rather be around the Cowboys than the Jets. So Devontae Adams is going to the Rams on a 2-year deal to play with Dallas's own Matthew Stafford, who took a pay cut. Yeah, I mean, at least the Cowboys have good regular seasons. The Jets don't have good anything.
I like because I know they gave Cooper Kupp permission to seek a trade. But they got I wouldn't mind seeing Devontae Adams and the Hawaiian kid on each side. That's gonna be tough to guard. I always mispronounce his name. I want to disrespect his family. Yeah, I always mispronounce. I want to disrespect his family, so I just call him the Hawaiian kid.
Yeah, all of the Africans and Hawaiians, they just need nick like Tua, Pua.
Puka. That guy.
All that stuff, whatever. And the Browns, after refusing to even discuss a trade with poor Arlington's own Myles Garrett, for Miles' trouble, at least they make him the highest paid non-quarterback in the history of ever. Less than a week after the Raiders gave Max Crosby top money, the Browns give Myles Garrett a massive raise, $40 million a season, $124 guaranteed. And I know what you're about to say here. And I'll say this. While, he wanted out of there, good on him. I mean, if I'm going to have to stay in this shitty city and play in this crappy organization, I might as well be the highest paid sumbitch while I'm doing it. And he took the money.
There's two things. There's 2 things to this. I'll say this. I love Myles Garrett. I love watching Myles Garrett play football. But this is the definition of, not on his part, on the Brown part, this is the definition of football dumb. You're 3-14, and you give one position $40 million a year. Good on Myles, because I love Myles. I'm happy you got paid.
Yeah.
But now, the other thing I'm going to say is I don't know where he resides during the offseason, but wherever he is at, I'm speaking of somebody else.
Oh.
He threw a party. After what Max Crosby got, and now what Myles Garrett got. Micah Parsons is somewhere. I know, Mike. We got to do it. We got to do it, Mike. This is what we do
Shut up
here.
and let me answer.
Micah Parsons is somewhere throwing the biggest fucking party ever known to man because the market just went boom with what. And look, no, he's not better than Garrett. No, he's not better than Crosby. But it's the market. We've seen this happen to shitty quarterbacks. Like, damn, that guy's pretty shitty to get the contract he just got, but it's the market. Micah Parsons and his agent are beyond ecstatic this morning. Jerry and Steven, maybe not so much. They freed up $56 million in cap room. And from the looks of it, and I almost threw up in my mouth when you said it, Mike. But now with where this defensive end market is gone, they might have to give all that money to Micah that they freed up. And when you said it, I was like, Mike, I don't want to hear that shit. That would be stupid. And then the 3-14 Browns go and do this dumb shit. And I can't even say Max Crosby's deal is a good deal. Again, when you're as bad as the Raiders and Browns, you shouldn't be giving that kind of money to one person.
No.
You should be doing what Seattle's doing. Like, hey, yeah, I know DK Metcalf deserves $30 million a year, but we're so far away.
Yep.
How do we justify that? Look what happened with Devontae Adams with the Raiders. Threw him a shit ton of money, and now he's been on 2 teams. Look with the Dolphins. Threw a shit ton of money to Tyreek Hill, and they can't get out their own way. 3-14, and you're paying Myles Garrett $100-something million guaranteed. It's just football dumb. But shout out to Micah Parsons and his agent. Cheers. Because they're the real winners.
And I got a little pushback. I tweeted about this over the weekend.
What'd you tweet?
Well, Myles Garrett, they don't meet because I tweeted something like, "This is great. All this does is drive up." In Jerry's mind, not in mine. Right. In Jerry's mind, it just drives up Micah Parsons' price.
I think so.
So he can wear out and not do shit in December and January because he's small. And then people
what
are
did
like,
people agree with? What did they disagree about that statement?
Myles Garrett doesn't do anything in December and January either because the Browns never win. That's not Myles Garrett's problem. And Myles Garrett does not wear out. He's the same guy all effing year long because he's awesome and he's a future Hall of Famer. Micah Parsons is not a future Hall of Famer. You know, I've said this before with regards to this one-upsmanship as far as salaries. Yeah. It's got to stop somewhere. It's like every time a good, and Micah Parsons is very good. He is not great, but every time, all you have to do is be very good in the NFL at your position. And when you're a free agent, you all of a sudden automatically vault to the top of the pay list. I don't understand that. Mm-hmm. I mean, where does it stop? We're going to have a $500 million quarterback at some point. That's got to stop somewhere where just because you happen to be a free agent does not mean that all of a sudden you have to reset the market every time. At some point, you're going to have a giant pile of shit. You know?
Yes.
Sam Darnold's about to get ridiculous money just because he had a good 3 months in the regular season. You know, and Micah Parsons' deal has nothing to do with Cleveland. And okay, why follow their pattern?
Like it's smart business. It's not
right.
Smart
Do you
business.
Want to be the Browns? No. So what you tell Micah Parsons is, we love you. We'll give you 30. Well, how about we give you a 3-year deal? And we'll give you 40 a year for 3 years and make you earn it, and then that's it. Maybe you can be a free agent again. Or good luck on the market, because we need to build depth on our defense. We need to find a team, not an organization with 3 high-paid players and a bunch of spares after that, and we don't win shit. The Cowboys are slowly becoming a 3-man team. Dak, CD, and Micah Parsons. And after that, they're going to suck everywhere else. It's not good. No. But I guarantee you, all that money that they freed up by moving around Dak's deal, moving around CD's deal, at this point in my mind, that has nothing to do with signing 14 guys in free agency. That has everything to do with giving it all to Micah Parsons and giving him his contract that will make him the highest paid of all time outside of the quarterback position. And he's not even top 5 at his position currently in the league, but we're going to make him the highest paid guy, which they will probably before training camp, I suspect. Bullshit. For more, let's go to the newsroom. Here's the audio disseminator, Jose Buki. What's up, Holmes?
Panthers make J.C. Horn the highest paid DB in NFL history.
Yeah, right
4
on.
years,
Right on
$100 million.
Right on.
How much?
People that don't deserve it and aren't top 5 in their position.
Wow. How much is it? What's the money again for Horn?
4 years, 100.
God.
For the Panthers?
And
Again.
Sauce Gardner somewhere is doing an Irish jig, and he is thrilled.
Again, thank you, dude. That's perfect. The timing of that couldn't. When does it stop? When does the team say no? Just because the Johnsons down the road and the Taylors over there, they're dumbasses and they're giving their guy ridiculous money. We don't have to give you more than their guy. They're stupid. They're dumb. We're not dumb. We're trying to win the title. The Kansas City Chiefs tell their guys, hey man, sorry, good luck in Miami or have fun in Baltimore.
Dude,
the Chiefs don't do that shit.
Now you do have a certain threshold that you got to meet or whatever, Mike. I get it. Like
I understand.
There's a floor, but no, we're on the same page. But it's just some of it is just like, if you're constantly battling for the number 1 overall pick, it's just some of the things I feel like you could do.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever, Horn is really good, and his deal has to do with Trayvon Diggs' deal with the Cowboys. So, and it's easy for these agents to walk into these rooms with these GMs and say, well, my guy is better than that guy, and that guy's getting $30 million. You're right, Mike. At what point do we say, okay, who draws the line? Like, this is exactly with the running back room. Like, GMs just said, we're not doing it anymore. Right? It just, at some point, I don't remember how long ago it was, but a few years back, GM said, hey, sent out a mass email on the dark web.
Yep.
And they said, we're not paying running backs anymore.
Right.
And so at some point, I guess it's going to happen with the quarterback and the defensive end. I don't know.
It's got to stop somewhere, The Panthers. That's another one. They can't get right. There's a bunch of teams that just can't get right. Cowboys are one of them, but there's a lot of others out there. Again, you do not have to be a Rhodes Scholar to run an NFL team. Seattle has completely given up now. They've traded DK. Pete Carroll's with the Raiders now.
Damn, I forgot about that. Geno Smith is a Raider now.
They just traded Geno Smith to the Raiders to get reunited with Pete Carroll. And I was reading where maybe the Seahawks go after Sam Darnold. Why would you do that if you're rebuilding? Just suck. And why would Sam Darnold do that? He's going to lose money. I mean, the money's the reason he would do it. Seattle, I don't think Seattle's going to go with some hunk of turd next year at quarterback. They're all out. They just signed a new offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak, whose daddy inspired a secret word that we used to use for having the runs. Back in the day when if one of us was sick, the code word was Kubiak.
Oh.
Kubiak means I need a break because I've got the shits. in honor of the great Aggie Gary Kubiak. All right, it's in the building here on Love You Hard TV on YouTube, on all platforms. If you want to listen to us on Spotify and Apple on the Believe Podcast Network. And so I appreciate everybody watching, all of our sponsors and everybody, including One Slackers, the official sports bar of In the Building. For more, here's a word from our sponsor, Slackers Sports Bar.
Grab it and suck it. Is that what you're supposed to do? Crack it. Grab it, suck. Grab it, suck. Mike, grab it, suck. Look at that. Grab it, suck.
I just did. Want to do it again?
Yeah. Grab it, suck. Grab it, crack it, suck it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Professional.
I couldn't see it. I don't know what happened with my stream.
Oh, look great. I probably sucked a couple of turds down with the meat too, but that's okay. I was trying to show off and I got ahead of myself.
Did he show the whole thing? I missed
Yeah,
it.
he did.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Thanks everybody who came out to Slackers on Saturday for their crawfish boil. We'll be we're going to go to all of them this year, and that was the first one. That's their springtime edition over at the Nacogdoches location. Good scene.
It was packed, dude.
A lot of people. Band, good bit.
I'm talking about packed. As soon as I got there, there was that first drop. It was crazy, and I've seen some guys with 4 or 5 pans. Like, you know how people stack their cups at Fiesta? Dudes had stacked their pans full of crawfish. They definitely know how to throw a party, man.
Yes,
they definitely know how to throw a party. The next one he told me is going to be 1,000 Oaks, which is going to be even more crazy. They did 1,500 pounds Saturday.
Damn.
Frank told me that wasn't enough, and for 1,000 Oaks, he's going to have to do 2,000 pounds. So if you missed March, shame on you. Come celebrate with us in April, where they're going to drop 2,000 pounds of crawfish. Great scene, great party, live music. It was just a dope day. The weather worked out perfect. It was a really cool day. Mike came, hung out with me and my brother-in-law and Anna. So it was a really good time, man. Real good time.
And I don't know who makes their who does the cooking. Like, I'm not sure who does the crawfish.
I forget the name of the company, man. Yeah.
Well, you find out, because here's the thing. This is a bit of a curveball. The sausage was one of the best sausages I've ever had in a crawfish boil.
Interesting.
It was great. Usually it's just like, that's just side fixings. Dude, I wound up eating not as much. I mean, I had 30 crawfish, but I mean, I had 4 links of sausage. It was awesome. Really, really good. The way, and you got to get that perfect
good flavor. You got to make sure it's flavored especially it's hard to get flavor when you're doing that many pounds.
Right. But it was nice and all. Yeah. It was like a soup, and it was effing great. So shout out to Slackers, and thanks for having us out for another big crawfish boil. That was super exciting and dope,
good times,
the kids would say. All right, it's in the building. Presented in part also by the official lawman, the official family lawyer of our show, Orlando Kell. It is time for people I want to punch.
You go first.
You want me to go first? No problem. I will. I want to punch the audio disseminator of our show, Jose Bouquet, today.
I think I know where this punch is going.
So look, we're just getting going here. You know, we just broke up with, he broke up with us. Our DJ LG is no mas. He's left our company. Good luck to LG. He's probably going to wind up moving to Spain or San Diego or something, and that's okay. And we're in a honeymoon phase. Everything's been great. A lot's been thrown at Jose. A lot has been thrown at him. I'm trying not to overload him. Lord knows I wouldn't be able to do anything he's doing. So I don't want to demean what he's doing. But he did make a mistake over the weekend. And of course, Nina's defending him because she loves him, because he's like a little brother to her, or son. So I was able to acquire all of our old drops from Ticket 760, my old radio station.
A bunch of them.
Yeah, and you met the guy. He showed up the other night with a little USB drive thingy that he made for us. And so I took it to Jose, took it to the studio on Friday, Friday it was, and he loaded it in, and it had even more than I thought. I thought it was just going to be a list of the drops. There's segments in there. There's all kinds of gold in there that I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to go through all of this. You know, and I want us to go through the drops so we can, because I don't want to keep all of them. There's like 1,000, you know, we don't have the room.
No.
But it would have been, I was going to bring it home, and I was going to just chill all day on Sunday and just kind of wax nostalgic and go through I was going to listen to some old segments that I've forgotten about, memories that I haven't had, you know, because I forgot about stuff. There's so much on there. I want to punch Jose because it took him less than 48 hours to lose the fucking thing. We don't have any idea where the USB is that I let you borrow. It was sacred, that I was going to keep forever as my treasure trove, as my legacy for my children and my great-grandchildren to listen to in the future, to hear what Grandpa used to do for a living.
It may be still at the studio, though, Mike. There's still hope.
Well, the studio's such a mess. We got to get something done in that studio, by the way. I'm about to, you know what? Now, if we're going to stay there every day, Rudy, that's time for me to, I have to take over. It needs to be clean. It's probably in the floor. A rat probably carried it off. We're all going to wind up with hantavirus. Jose, have you been able to locate it since you told me yesterday you lost it?
No, I have not. I have looked. Good thing is, I can confirm the day I lost it, I went to the studio with a vacuum and I said, okay, I'm going to vacuum the studio.
Okay.
And if I cannot find it while I'm vacuuming, then I've obviously lost it legitimately here.
Not in your backpack, not in your car. Okay.
No, I've looked. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. I don't know how I could have lost it so quickly.
All right. Well, of course, Nina defended him.
What? How could she possibly defend that?
You shouldn't have let him borrow it. It's yours. You don't have to give it to him. She's like, all you have to do. Apparently, I could have sent you all of that myself through my laptop. Is that I'm apparently? But I
that
just
is true. But
well,
I do deserve the punch. Yes.
Well, in court, and one of Bouquet's excuses was, well, I'm young and I'm not used to handling media that's actually a solid form. What kind of bullshit is that? I'm not used to having things in my hand. This is a problem with today's young people. There's nothing to mold. Art is all on a computer screen. We make music we press start to make fucking records now. Movies, airplanes fly themselves. Our kids don't get to have something. They don't read books. They don't have a thing they hold and smell. And, it was this big. It's this big. So
she said,
you're off the hook because I've talked to my deep throat up at iHeart. And he's like, no problem. I'll make you another one. So we'll have another one that I'm going to bring to the studio, and we're going to look at it together, and then I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to let you borrow it.
No. He's out. He's done.
Good news for Thunderdome and everybody that's listening to our show that wants to. And look, the drops are coming back slowly but surely. You got to bear with us. We not only did we get divorced, we're the ones that had to leave the house.
Well,
we had to move.
This is what I want to ask you, Mike. It's funny because it's only a funny story because the guy's able to get it back. Now, let's say the guy would have said, hey, man, Mike, we already wiped it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, man, there's nothing we can do. How's this conversation going?
Bouquet's fired and we're looking for a new studio. I mean, you asked me a question. That's the answer.
There you go.
Well, look, it's always a funny story when it works out. That's a funny
and in the nick of time too, because my guy at iHeart's like in a week they're getting ready to wipe out all the old files because they got to do some house cleaning. So we were like a week out. He assures me not to worry. I'll have a new one today or tomorrow, and I'll have a brand new one. And maybe you'll find the other one. Now we'll have two, so to speak. So maybe it works.
That would be a shame if that happened.
Who you punching, Rudy, and why?
I can't really follow that up, but I'm gonna punch again. Again, I don't know. We probably punched this guy maybe 5 times in the last 2 weeks. I'm gonna punch Nico Harrison again.
Oh my God!
Soon to be failed GM of the Dallas Mavericks. They had 9 players last night start that game. By the time the game was over, Mike, they were down to 6.
The Mavs,
dude. They had 2 dudes bump head. They had 2 dudes bump heads and need stitches. And Jason Kidd's at the podium just defeated. He's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, this is the rummage, the rat poop and rat urine that Nico Harrison has left the Mavericks in. Now, again, you can't, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving. It's, but this is bad, dude. Again, I believe in the Almighty God, but this curse shit is starting to look more and more real.
It's unbelievable.
Dude, like, this is the type of shit you see at the rec league, like the 40 and over men's rec league. Like, man, we ain't got but 6 today, but we'll play, y'all. Y'all want to play it? Let's play.
Say, man, you want to jump in here, man? What's your name? Oh, cool. Nice to meet you.
That's what the Mavs look like, a 40 and over rec league team, dude.
Dude, it is so bad. And I'm going to the game tonight. They're in San Antonio tonight.
Dude,
and we've
you
got
don't-
tickets.
Name the starting five for the Mavs tonight, Mike. I can't even. Not without Google.
One of the guys that banged heads last night had no business being back on the court. They had to put him back in. They had no choice.
Bet, dude.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so I got to punch Nico for that, man.
I mean, God, I could name all the guys that are hurt. You know, I could name Luka Doncic. Nico, I'm going to see if I can find Nico at the game tonight. I'm going to see if he goes.
Will you flip him off or what? What are you planning on?
His ass should be fired. His ass. We need to pass an ordinance saying that he's not allowed to make any more children because the Harrisons are going to contaminate the world into the future. It's so bad. This is a curse that needs to die with Nico Harrison. He has turned the Mavericks into, they are part of the axis of evil at this point. It's so bad because I don't know how you look at this and don't think they did this on purpose. This is and I look for people that believe in the NBA conspiracy theories. This looks just like an outlier franchise hooked up the Lakers. That's what it looks like.
It does.
I'm not saying that.
No.
I don't know how you argue against it at this point. It's so bad.
I don't know how you do it when, again, it was a long time ago when David Stern wouldn't allow them to get Chris Paul. But Adam Silver allows this shit. Like Mark Cuban said last week, like, hey, nothing against Anthony Davis, but if I'm giving you Luka Doncic, you got to give me LeBron. You know, like that's the only way to justify it, Mike. Like if they would have said, hey, Luka's just been traded for LeBron, you kind of look around, you're like, all right. You know what I mean?
Right. At least get 3 number 1 draft picks out of the thing or something.
And what sucks though, and I know Nico, I know he has some hard times going to sleep. Like if all of this curse shit doesn't happen, they're actually a good team on paper if they're healthy. You know what I mean? So I will let it play out, and we'll talk about it as we go. But right now, we're gonna keep punching him in his fucking face because this shit looks bad right now. But because that first game Anthony Davis had, I was like, hold on, this shit don't look bad.
I know.
They had it looked like it was some there, but right now, dude, this is LA Fitness Rec League, dude.
No shit. I'm willing to let it play out too, but I mean, Kyrie's out at least 6 months.
More than that, Mike. I'd be shocked if Kyrie plays next year.
Anthony Davis is not going to want to stay there if Kyrie's going to be out for the year or even 8 months. He's not going to want to be associated with that. They're going to have to completely rebuild. Here's the problem. They don't have a number 1 draft pick in 2027, 28, 29, or 30. None. The Spurs have their 2030 number 1 pick.
That may be a good pick. Way this is going, that could be a great pick for the Spurs.
I know. It's unbelievable. Shit. Just incredible. All right. Thanks to Orlando Kell, the official family lawyer. If you need a family lawyer, I wonder what Nico Harrison's old lady thinks about him these days. I mean, she might need to be calling Orlando. I mean, golly. I mean, damn, cursed my family. If you need a family lawyer, Orlando Kell is our guy. Call Orlando 210-775-4995. Make sure you mention in the building if you need a family lawyer. And gosh knows, it's unfortunate. 50% of the American married population at some point is going to get divorced in their lifetimes. That's the data. And when that day comes, if you're one of those 50%, Orlando's our guy. Call him, hit him up at orlandokilllaw@gmail.com, orlandokilllaw@gmail.com. Other NBA doings over the weekend, Nikola Jokic, the first man ever with a 30-20-20 game, and LeBron James tweaks his groin, and now Luka's going to have to carry the thing here for some weeks probably without LeBron. There's your headliners for the league. Thoughts on the NBA this weekend, other than the shitty Mavs and Spurs?
The Celtics showed like when we feel like it, we're the best team in the world. When they feel like it, like they've been
open hand slapping, Rudy.
Yeah, they've had some bad losses this year, but we see this with teams that go deep into the playoffs every year. They get to that point where they don't care really about the regular season, which is why the regular season is too long. But then LeBron and Luka show up. And them motherfuckers start playing defense. Them motherfuckers start moving the ball.
Yep.
Jalen and Tatum start going off. And it gets ugly. It gets ugly for teams. When the Celtics feel like playing, no one is beating them.
Tell him, Rudy.
My lady friend had an interesting observation because I was in here watching Cleveland play. I watched a few games over the weekend, which is rare for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was Cleveland. Who the hell are they playing? Oh, Milwaukee last night.
Oh yeah, Cleveland. Cleveland won. Yeah.
Yeah. Nina walks in. She's like, "Dang, that's a high scoring game." Because it was like 42-39 with like 8 minutes left in the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Even she, who is just a rando fan, noticed that that's a high scoring. Maybe that's not high scoring. That's how things are now.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to take away from Jokic's number. That was unprecedented. And he reminded us all that, the Celtics reminded us that they're the best team. And I think Joker reminded us that, hey, I'm the best player.
Yes. Yes, for sure, Mike. For sure.
But I'm like, yeah, but baby, the league averages 128 points a game.
The Spurs gave up 140 last night. But yeah.
But 41. And we watched a little bit of we watched the Lakers and the Celtics too the night before. And it's like, the Celtics shot 45 3-point shots or whatever it was in that game. That's the league. So
it's just the league.
I'm not trying to take away from all the triple doubles you see, but there's a reason. Triple doubles are not what they used to be because of the high scoring and the way the game's played and the 3 points.
No, it's not.
But what Jokic did was incredible. But like now when I hear, so and so had 32, 40 is the new 30. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed unless you get into 40 because everyone scores so much.
I saw Jimmy Harden had 50 the other night.
That's impressive. As much as I don't like him, that's impressive.
Did you see your boy Kawhi hit a buzzer beater and actually show some emotion? He had a buzzer beater the other night, and he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, that's in him."
It's like a Bigfoot sighting. I know.
You know what, Mike? It's crazy. I've forgotten about the Clippers. Like I forget. Like I'm like every now and then they'll pop up, and I'm like, "Oh shit, that's right." James Harden and Kawhi Leonard play together. Like
in Los Angeles.
Like think about that. Like think about how I'm like, yo, they're in LA. Oh, and Kawhi and James Harden play together.
Mm-hmm.
Forgotten about stars.
I know. They're the Aggies. They're the Aggies of LA.
Damn. Okay. I can dig it. I can dig it.
And that'll fit. I have my Aggie buddies who be like, "What the fuck was that?" you know exactly what that was. A good analogy.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. All right, man. What do y'all got today? You chilling? You gonna do some
walking
around?
Bro. Walk around and do a bunch of nothing.
Excellent. I got to move a couch. We bought a new couch. It's going to be delivered.
Awesome.
I got to get rid of the old one. It's my assignment.
Just do what everybody else in the apartment does. Look around, look both ways, and leave it by the dumpster.
Thankfully, we have a place that allow you. There's a big, huge recycle thing. But I gotta carry it 50 yards.
How you gonna get it over there?
I'm doing it myself. That's my exercise for the day. All right, I gotta pee. Thank you to Jose Bouquet. Thank you to everybody who watched it. Share our show, like our show, subscribe to our show. We're on all platforms. More in the future, even. We're done. See y'all in here mañana. That's it. Yeah, we're done. See y'all mañana for Ass Whip Tuesday. Love you hard on In the Building.